All right, so today we're going to talk about the Silver Snoopy Award Omega Speedmaster that I picked up a little while ago now. It's been maybe a month, maybe a little less. I don't know. It's been a little bit of time. And yes, I had to, when I knew this was coming, I ordered a little Snoopy NASA guy because you got to have props, right? Like, it's about having fun in the hobby, whether it's knives or watches, right? So I went a little nuts. I bought a couple of little props. I have a Snoopy on top of the dog house little thing. Like, I've got a few things, okay? I didn't go way nuts because on eBay and some other online places, you can find some vintage from the 70s still in the packages. They're $500, $600, $800 of a plush Snoopy carrying the like in a full spacesuit and everything like that, not just with like a NASA t-shirt, I guess is what we'd call this, with some goggles. Now he's got the full-on spacesuit and everything. So I got that on Amazon for like, $5 or $10 or something. I wasn't spending $400 on a Snoopy plush toy. Okay. Not going to happen. I spent enough money on the Snoopy watch. So there you go. All right. So I'm not going to go through all of the details and specs. Let me see if I can zoom kind of in the middle. Because there's been a ton of people that have done videos. Anybody that knows anything about this watch probably already knows that it's 42 millimeter stainless steel case, how thick it is, and all of that jazz. So we're not going to talk about all the details and the specs, but it is a chronograph. So you've got your seconds hand here in this little subdial with Snoopy, which is pretty cool. Now, this is not, like, it's a super cool watch. Don't get me wrong. But it's not the easiest and most legible watch to read the time. Okay. The blue seconds hand kind of blends in with the blue subdial. The other 2 hour and minute hands do, when they're down in the bottom half of the dial, they kind of blend in. And in the certain light, you're kind of not sure what time it is. However, this is not the watch you buy specifically to tell time. I've got a phone in my pocket that's going to tell me the time whenever I need to know the actual time. This is more of a piece that you have because it's special. It's a commemorative watch. It's the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission. Okay? So we've all seen the movie Apollo 13, right? Houston, we have a problem. We're venting stuff into space, Tom Hanks, all that stuff, right? We've all seen the movie. Because of that movie, because of that true life incident, Omega got a Silver Snoopy Award. Now, what is a Silver Snoopy Award? So, Snoopy joined NASA back in 1968. So, the year before I was born. So, Snoopy's a pretty old guy. And think of it as kind of like Smokey the Bear or Woodsy the Owl for the fire service. That's kind of Snoopy for NASA, kind of the mascot and whatnot. And he kind of is the epitome of safety there for NASA. So they actually have little silver pins, like a lapel pin, that when somebody, a NASA employee or a vendor, does something extraordinary for a life safety type of a thing, they are awarded this silver Snoopy lapel pin. There's a certificate and a whole presentation and all of that stuff, right? Let me just get the chronograph going while we're here. And those silver Snoopy lapel pins have actually been to space. So they take them on missions. They take some number of them, 5, 10, 20 of them, so that when you get that award, that lapel pin has actually been in space. So that's pretty cool. So during the Apollo 13 mission, when they had to do the controlled 14-second burn of the thrusters or whatever it was. They didn't have no computers because they had shut it all down, right? We remember the movie. One of the astronauts was wearing a Speedmaster. Okay, that's what this is. This model is called the Speedmaster in whatever configuration. So they used this to time that 14-second burn. Now, what's cool and how that relates to this watch, now that I probably got some fingerprints on the case back, let me just wipe that off to make sure we're good. And I have a little piece of tape there over the serial number because, I don't know, we don't want to advertise the serial numbers. And I've read some stuff as to why, and it sort of makes sense. So, okay, fine. So you see here, we've got the moon. We've got the Earth spinning. That's always spinning with the seconds hand. Okay, so that's a constant. Eye on the stars. And also around here, we've got some homage to Apollo 13. Was in April of 1970. And they got the award. I think it's over here. The award was given to Omega in October of 1970. Okay, so a little bit of stuff on the case back. This is a Naiad lock. So when they do remove the case back and they put it back on, it goes on in the exact orientation every single time because I think the moon is painted on the underside of the sapphire crystal, which is also silver paint. And the stars are like silver paint, if I'm correct. So anyway, when we start the seconds hand or the chronograph hand over here, the Earth is still going to spin, but you're going to see Snoopy in the lunar control module come out from behind the Earth. Now, they've engineered this in such a way that when the tip of the lunar control module hits the Earth, and when the tail of the module disengages the Earth, right there, that's 14 seconds in remembrance of the 14-second burn during the mission. Okay, is that a monumental feat of engineering? No. But did it take some coordination to get the Earth the right size, to make the lunar control module the right size so that it only touched for 14 seconds? Yeah, some thought went into that. Okay, now Snoopy is riding around on a piece of sapphire glass. Sapphire crystal is what's holding him there, so you can see him come and go. And just, you get that 3D effect, right? There's layers here because he's coming out from behind the moon, but yet he's going over the Earth. I just think it's really, really cool. And that sapphire crystal as the leg that he's spinning on is pretty, like, you can kind of see it there in that light. But I think it's really cool. So now when we hit the stop button, and then this is the reset button, takes us all back to 0. I just think it's really, really cool. Okay, so the dial on this is a silver dial. Okay, it is like silver. It's not just the color silver, it is the material silver. Same with the paint in the back has silver specks and things like that. You have a ceramic blue tachymeter bezel with white enamel paint in there, I think is what it is. You have the blue subdials. Now the blue subdial at the 9 o'clock where Snoopy is slightly different color, and it's hard. There you go. You can see it there. It's a lighter blue that matches more the bezel in my mind, whereas the other two subdials are a little darker. It's fine. There's almost 0 lume, so this is not a watch for night. This is more of a dressier watch. This is your wear to special occasions and things like that. A lot of people are going to buy this and just put it in the safe. Nah, I ain't doing that. I wear the heck out of this. It also has the trajectory of Apollo 13 right here embossed in the leather. It's really hard to see because it's kind of broken in here, but you can kind of see there's like a figure 8, Earth and the moon. So a little nod to that. Now they do have a bracelet for this. It's the Same bracelet for any of the Speedmasters because the dimensions of this Speedmaster are the same as all the others, okay? I am going to give you a wrist shot here. I would prefer it on the bracelet, and I can get a bracelet, not a problem. My other friend who picked one of these up from our same AD, our authorized dealer, he had him order the bracelet, and it looks great on the bracelet. I just think it belongs on this strap. So it's a fabric strap with leather on the back, kind of stitched together with the pin buckle. I like deployant clasps. Okay, here's my Omega Seamaster SMP 300. Same 42 millimeters as this. Looks a little different, but I love this strap. I wished this had a deployant strap in this same color because it would just wear better for me and it would be a little bit easier on and off than the whole pin buckle. But that's okay. I don't think I'm going to go with the metal bracelet just because I think the blue, it's really what it's meant to be on. If you put the metal bracelet on, it looks more like just a regular Speedmaster. And I want it to I don't want it to stand out, but I want it to represent the silver Snoopy edition, if you will. So let me check my notes, make sure I covered everything. Yeah, so when NASA called Charles Schultz and the Peanuts crew, he was so honored and touched that he actually did up a whole drawing for them and just gave it to them for free. And then they worked with them, and they actually had an in-house artist at NASA that started doing all of the drawings for NASA. So it's really cool how that all worked out. I'm going to put a link down below to a website that talks all about how Snoopy became part of NASA. And some of that I did touch on, but if you're interested in more of that history, I'll put a link. So here it is. This is the SMP 300 ceramic dial. This is a 42 millimeter watch. This is also a 42 millimeter watch. They are about the same thickness. I think the Speedmaster is a little thicker. This is a mechanical watch. Has a 50-hour power reserve, so I have to wind it every day. Whereas this is an automatic watch, and you can see the movement here. It's going to wind itself with that rotor as you move and things like that, right? So that's a difference. Let me show you this one on my wrist since I showed you the other. I haven't worn this one in a while, actually. But I have a 7¼ inch wrist. This has great loom, and this is super comfortable. This is the way to wear this watch. If you have this watch, get yourself the rubber strap and the deployant clasp. It doesn't come with it. It's $500 option because it's $250 for the rubber and $250 for the buckle. But trust me, it is worth the $500 plus tax if they charge you the tax. It's worth it. It wears incredible with that combination. So anyway, there you go. If you stuck around this long, comment Snoopy down below. I know I kind of went on a tangent and kind of wanted to just show some of the little hidden features of this as opposed to just the straight, hey, here's the specs, here's the stuff. So let me know your thoughts. I greatly appreciate it. Have yourselves a fantastic day. And yeah, I'm grateful that my AD asked for this for me. I didn't ask for the watch. He thought I deserved it. So he asked Omega to send one out for me. They did. I bought it. I'm a happy guy.